Thank you for helping me heal myself.
Good morning, y'all. Welcome to Creative Companions. It's 11 o'clock on the dot. Whew. Dressing for the part. I'm going to be the artist today. Okay. I said I'm having problems. Somebody, let me know you're there. I'm Kim. This is Creative Companions. We're going to meditate, create, and do what we do. It's going to give you time to get here. Make sure my video is not having problems. Let me check something. So, we're working with You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. We're on chapter 2. So I want to talk about that a little bit today. Maybe it's been a rough week for you. I know it's been a rough week for me getting here. And it's good to be here now. Let's see what happens. Not sure I'm able to see comments. Oh, there you are. There you are, comments. So everything looks different on this screen. Hi. Yeah, I'm grateful y'all are here too. I'll do the best I can with keeping up with comments today. Let's see if I change something here. So, yeah. Just start right away breathing deeper than you were a moment ago. Take some deep breaths in and out. I hope you're surrounded with things that you love in a space that you feel safe and good. I am. This is different. Look, I'm in the attic at my daughter's house. And this is where my art lives in between shows and things and stuff. I'm going to start sleeping up here with it once in a while. For sure, because it's been hot in the Dragonfly, and I've been crabby. I've been so crabby, and I've been forgetting the things that I learned, and I haven't been I don't know, so much practicing what I preach, I guess, which I don't want to be a preacher or a guru or nothing. Like I've said many times, I'm just like healing in front of you. I desire to inspire. That's why I'm here. What do you think of the beret, by the way? This is new. I used to have one, and then I didn't, and now I do. This is the first time I wore it for you and me, and like, yeah. So yeah, I'm up here in my daughter's attic. I'm surrounded by my art, which feels really good. I have all my things, and I'm giving you time to gather your things for our hour here together today. Reminding myself and you to breathe deeper and deeper. Too low FPS. The current frame. Okay, let me look at something here, y'all. It says I'm having problems. How can we have before broadcasting my streaming stuff? Okay, how do I change that? I'd hate to be doing this and have to do it over. Can you all can hear me okay and everything? It's saying I'm having technical difficulty. Oh, let me look at settings. Let's see if I can change something there. No. Well, we'll just leave it this way. Let me scroll down on these comments. Good morning, you all. You know, sometimes it's really challenging to show up for ourselves on a daily basis. I've been doing these marker meditations as something to like shake it up for me. So besides my regular journaling, which is one of the basic tools we use in Creative Companions, is the morning pages. 3 pages of brain drain. You might have your journal right here with you today. We might use that for a minute. And just gathering your things and getting them close to you. So I have my journal. I have my pen. I have my water. A little louder, okay. I have my water in a yellow cup for my friend Jody Kay, who passed away. I have Louise Hay's book. next to me. I have all the colors and markers. Um, I have a painting on the easel there that I'm working on that y'all might have seen a couple times. That's called I'm calling the Mamas. Well, I named it that. She's not quite two. Well, maybe she did turn two. Anyway, I have all my tools over there, my brushes and my palettes and stuff. So gather your tools and a canvas to work on or something that you already have in progress. I thought I was going to do like a guided painting today, and I really don't have that in me to do it. So we're going to meditate like we always do. I'm going to talk, and you can work on whatever you want to work on. I really, that oil painting, the Mamas, is calling to me, and it's been in the RV drying and under a thing and waiting. So I just pulled it back out and brought it in the house this morning, as a matter of fact. Excuse me. So I'm looking forward to getting to that. So it's all just self-care, showing up for ourselves, creative companions, showing up for ourselves, showing up for one another. Man, it keeps saying some weird thing. I don't know what to do. How do I change it? Yeah, I don't know why it's saying that something's wrong, but I don't know how to change it. So hopefully it'll work. Anyway, so morning pages, we're grabbing the things that we need for this hour. This hour. Love you too, all of you. I love you so much. I'm so glad you're here. Just take a deep breath in and out. Just keep breathing. And again, we're gathering our things so that we can be comfortable here in this space together to share this experience for the next hour. So we have our journal, our pen, our water. I have my marker meditation journal here that I've been using. This has been a fun, this is a tiny journal. And I've just been daily going from where the day before's has bled through onto the page and starting there and just spending a little time filling this page daily. And this has been a different thing for me. Our self-care routines can become boring and feel like work to us, which I had noticed was happening for me. And I also was finding frustration in my self-care routines because I am not currently living in a space, in a place where I can do my self-care routines in the way that I'm used to privately. And I feel like there's eyes on me all the time here in the city. And so my yoga, I have not been on the mat for quite some time. But I'm okay with that, because we're also learning to be flexible with ourselves and learning that, it's all in flow. We are water, of course, and we're just in motion, and we're just works in progress, changing and growing. And so my self-care routine is just changing a little. Whoa, that one went. But oh, look, the smiley face is upside down, it's whirling around. It's just interesting, to date these. And then you also, for me, if I'm doing this little sketch journal daily after my morning pages, maybe later in my life I will look back, I'll read the morning page that I wrote and look at the sketch and learn something. It's happened before to me, This one was inspired by it when I was listening to one of our creative companions do a live feed playing his electric guitar on his porch in the morning, and it was great. And he was rapping and he was saying some stuff. It was good. And this character here was on his shirt, so that's where that came from. So peace. Thank you, Zach. That was awesome. So I love to see what y'all are doing. Oh, so here's where I left off. So so you see, I'll leave this page as is, and then I'll start from here. And what I do is just look at it and wait for it to tell me, well, it's going to say red because, there's those red dots there. So I start with red. I'll get my red marker. Still, we're just preparing for today, preparing our artist self, I put on, I say, dress for the part, dress for what you're going to do today. I really, really, really want to get to painting today. If I don't put on my paint dress first thing, I put on something that I don't want to get paint on, it may not happen. I may not get to painting because that would require changing my clothes. Maybe I'm too lazy to do that now. So, dress for what you want to do today. So I put on my favorite paint dress. Got all my things here. I feel pretty grounded and set in my space. Breathing in and out. So, our self-care tools, we use the morning pages to rest on. That's a meditation. Just learning to allow the hand to move across the page while we deal with our inner self. And we're learning to calm that self by breathing in and out and focusing on the breath. That's all you ever have to do is breathe in order to survive this moment. And that's all you ever have to survive is now. It's only ever now. It's good to be here now. So for our meditation now, today, focusing on our breath, thinking of lengthening the breath, the inhale becoming longer, filling us up, holding that in for a moment, letting it out, letting that exhale relax you, knowing that like we are fluid, so is meditation. We can wiggle around in our seats as much as we need to. For this meditation today, I'm going to ask you to just grab your journal or piece of paper in your handy dandy pen, maybe your favorite one. And we're going to breathe in and out and thinking of silencing the sensor by focusing on the breath, allowing any thoughts that come to come and go, or to write them down. Allowing the hand to keep moving across the page is the goal. When the hand wants to cease or the thought stops the hand, recognize that the hand has stopped and get it moving again. Maybe it becomes a doodle, maybe it becomes a poem, maybe it becomes a song, maybe you go on too long. How about that? So, welcoming the blank page. There it is, a new beginning. You're going to write on there. All I'm going to ask you to do for this is a meditation. So for this meditation, all we're going to do is breathe in and out and describe our now on the page. Now, remembering that when we're meditating always, any sounds we hear in the room around us, we're avoiding the noid, not going towards irritation, only allowing those sounds that we hear in our peripheral to help us to relax more and more. With the knowing that if there's an emergency and the children should need us or something like that, we'll be up and at it immediately in an effort to, take care of ourselves. But no one needs us right now. No one's calling to us. We have given ourselves, and thank you so much for showing up for yourself for this hour. And ready, set, go. Just describe your now as you breathe in and out, lengthening your lovely breath and filling yourself up and going within. And I'm going to go silent. Keep breathing. Notice when your breath has stopped, or your hand. We're just focusing on the both of those. Just keep breathing, moving your hand across the page. So sometimes I just finished 3 pages. Sometimes that happens with the quickness. Other times it goes real slow. It doesn't matter, you know? And you just write it down and close the book and go on to the next thing. So, for me, the next thing these days is this marker thing. But maybe you just want to get right into what you're painting. Maybe you want to do a doodle marker page. But I've been going with this idea that we're made up of all the colors, and I love all the colors, and all the colors in nature, and all the colors of people. And so for me, I just like to grab like one of each color and have those ready. I need a blue one. Red and yellow and pink and green, purple and, let's see, I don't have a red. Purple and orange and blue. I can sing a rainbow, sing a rainbow, sing a rainbow too. So, self-care is sacred. I hope that you've done some this week. I would like to hear about that. We've read chapter 2 of You Can Heal Your Life. I'm going to open the book to that now. The first thing it says is, what is the problem? I don't like that. It's safe to look within. Focusing on the problem gives us more problem. I'd rather ask, what is the solution? But the first thing she says is, what is the problem? And it is safe to look within. Well, because we often only look at the problem, and we look at the problems with our body and what we, for me it's been, I don't even like to say the sentences, issues with my skin, eczema, whatever. I don't like to put labels on things anymore. Learned a lot. But we're often looking at our life like it's a problem. We have problems with our relationship, with our finances, with our bodies, with our life altogether. All I do is procrastinate. Nothing ever works for me. And like those sentences aren't true. You're still here now. Things have been working for you somehow, some way, somewhere. My niece once said to me when I was freaking out, because sometimes I act like I'm never going to make another piece of art or another dollar in my life. And she said, Aunt Kimmy, why are you freaking out? Things work out for you. I've watched you my whole life anyway. Things work out. They do. When you let them play out, they work out one way or another, right? And forward we go. Yeah, so, but Louise says, people have all these ideas of what's wrong. But these complaints are only outer effects of inner thought patterns. And then the words we speak to ourselves in our minds are indications, and that's what our journal is teaching us. What are those thought patterns? What am I saying to myself on the regular? If I'm saying I'm sick, I'm sick, I'm sick, I'm sick, I'm sick, we're going to manifest a lot of sick. I'm well. Things are going well for me. But then she talks about the word should. And if you know me well, I think a lot about what we say and the words and how we use them. Should has been banished from my vocabulary. I don't should myself anymore. Because should is one of the most damaging words in the human language. Every time we use should, we are in effect saying wrong. Either we are wrong, or we were wrong, or we're going to be wrong. And I don't think we need more wrongs. We need more freedom of choice. So if we could remove should and replace it with could, this gives us choice. And our choices are never wrong. So there was a little exercise to do, and what things do you say to yourself? I should do this or that. I should do this or that. Could you when you replace it with could, for me when I was quitting smoking, I should quit smoking. I should quit smoking because it's bad for my health. It's, when I replaced it with could, I could quit smoking. I could. At any moment, I could. At any moment, you could. That thing, whatever. Why haven't you done the thing? Well, because I'm afraid. Because I don't know how. These are all things that we say, criticizing ourselves. And when we realize that the shoulds that are showing up for us are often, most likely, someone else's idea of what we should or should not do. And this is our life, and we're learning to be autonomous beings and think our own thinks. It's tough. I've had a tough one, you know, like um, everything. I'm just seeing so much separation in our world, and everything set up to cause us to look for reasons to not love each other. Looking at the separation, what's different from me to you? What makes you different than me, and therefore I have a reason to not like you. You know, and it's caused me to want to be real quiet. Yeah. Let's see what else Louise has to say. How often we have felt inferior because we have been told we should be smarter, richer, more creative like someone else in our family. What is there on your should list that could be dropped with a sense of relief because those are someone else's ideas of who you should be? You know, Georgia O'Keeffe said, when the whole world is trying to make me who they think that I should be, the least I can do for myself is paint how I want to, make my art how I want to. So, yeah, so what could be dropped? So now, by the time we've gone through your short list, you're beginning to look at your life in a different way. We notice that things that we thought we should do are things we never wanted to do, and we're only trying to please other people. So many times it's because we're afraid or we feel that we're not good enough. So you're not wrong just because you're not fitting someone else's standards. Life is very simple, Louise says. What we give out, we get back. The universe totally supports every thought we choose to think and believe. When we are little, we learn how to feel about ourselves and about life by the reactions of the adults around us. Whatever these beliefs are, they will be recreated as experiences as we grow up. Changes can begin in this moment, right now, because change begins with a change in thought. I hope you're still breathing and keeping your hand moving and making some art, making some marks on the page, because this is who you are and where you're at today, and this is the mark you're going to make. I'm going to use some purple for a minute. So now we're going to talk about loving the self. Louise says, no matter what the problem seems to be, there's only one thing I ever work on with anyone, and this is loving the self. Love is the miracle cure. Loving ourselves works miracles in our lives. I'm not talking about vanity or arrogance or being stuck up, for that is not love, it's only fear. I'm talking about having a great respect for ourselves and gratitude for the miracle of our body and our mind. Now I'm just reading here. These are Louise's words. Love to me is appreciation to such a degree that it fills my heart to bursting and overflows. Love can go in any direction. I can feel love for the very process of life itself, for the joy of being alive, the beauty I see, another person, knowledge, the process of the mind, our bodies and the way that they work. I can feel love for animals, birds, fishes, vegetation, the universe. You know, what can you add to the list? You know, we can, and then can we have that same feeling for ourselves? And she asks us to look at the ways that we don't love ourselves, the ways that we scold, criticize, mistreat our bodies with food and alcohol and drugs, choose to believe we're unlovable, choose to believe we're unlovable. That's self-abuse. We're learning not to do that. You know, we no longer accept abuse. And what we often find, those of us who have accepted abuse from others, that when there's no one present to abuse us, we will abuse ourselves with those thoughts we think, repeated thoughts we think. If it's not serving us well, making us feel good, we banish that thought for a new think. I love myself. I love myself. That's what we're learning to say to ourselves. If we defy our good in any way, it's an act of not loving ourselves. Think about that. Lack of self-worth is another expression of not loving ourselves. How do you express this lack of self-worth? For me, it's recognizing that I don't provide myself with the things that I want or need. I make myself wait and be patient more than is necessary at this point. At some point in my life, it was necessary to always be patient, and my needs come last. That's when I was, raising kids and such, and seemed appropriate, Yeah, so how do you express your lack of self-worth? There's a question to ask. These are hard questions, aren't they? My feet are going to sleep, so I need to move. Oh. So next she talks about how perfect you were when you were a tiny baby. Aubrey's going to have a baby. I write that in my journal every day because that thought brings me joy. Learning to check in with what thoughts bring you joy. Think those things, Hello. I've been letting you stare at my pages instead of at me. I'm going to get to that oil painting eventually. Let's see what else she says about being perfect babies. Babies do not have anything. Babies do not have to do anything to become perfect. They already are. And they act as if they know it. They're not afraid to ask for what they want. They freely express their emotions. You know how they feel. They're also full of love. Little love bugs, You were like that too. We all were. And then we began to listen to adults around us who had learned to be fearful. And we began to deny our own magnificence. I never believe it when a client tries to convince me how terrible they are or how unlovable they are. So my work is to bring them back to the time when they know how to really love themselves. And then she asks us to look into the mirror and say, I love and accept you exactly as you are. Like, look in your eyes and say, hi, Kim, I love and accept you exactly as you are. Have any of you tried that? Louise says she finds that people they simply can't do it. A lot of them just look away. They can't look themselves in the eyes. For years, now this is I'm reading for a second. For years, I looked into the mirror only to criticize what I saw there, recalling the endless hours I spent plucking my eyebrows. Trying to make myself barely acceptable amuses me now. I remember it used to frighten me to look into my own eyes. So what's your experience with the mirror? Mirror, mirror on the wall, we're all mirrors for one another. If I love me more, I love you all more. So we're learning. My one friend does a thing called Facing the Mirror. Seems like a really good program. It's an idea that comes up over and over and over again. Your problem is not your looks, but that you're convinced that there's something wrong with you. I used to look in the mirror and say that. Like, what the heck is wrong with you? Oh, you me, make that face. Me. It's not good. Yeah. So Louise says she just likes to teach people to love and accept themselves. And every area of your life will get well. Whatever the issue is, let's just put it to the side and begin to learn to love ourselves. Whatever you think your issue is, let's just put it aside and not think about it anymore, and let's begin to learn to love ourselves. Some people get angry at this notion. If you're not ready, there's no judgment. We all begin to make our changes in the right time, space, and sequence for us. Yeah. So why do you criticize yourself? What do you think what's wrong with you? You're too what? And the bottom line for all of us, Louise says, is that this idea that we're not good enough. And my counselors used to say, not good enough. Good enough for who? For what? Like, you're just being you. And nobody can do you like you can do because you're in a unique expression. So we criticize ourselves because we have learned to believe that we're not good enough. You know, like there's this imposter syndrome. Guess what? I still get it. I feel like, what if they all know I'm faking this artist thing? I'm just making it up as I go along. I don't even really know how to paint. Like, I don't know how my camera works. Like, it's all magic to me. I like all the colors, though, you know? And I can read. And I've learned how to just, like, be here now and love myself and give myself what I need. And then just like with yoga and different practices, we just breathe. Our body will move where it needs to move to be comfortable. If we allow that. Our breath will lead us. You know, I'm thinking about like when I first got into this idea of breath work and, you know, how you can control your anxiety, your pain, things by focusing on the breath. And I started to learn this when I was pregnant for Aubrey, who is pregnant with her first. So we're talking about these things. And it was through Lamaze Childbirth Association that I learned first about using the breath and moving it in your body and not focusing on the thought or the pain or the thoughts that the pain bring, because that is the thing. It's our thoughts about the thing that cause the thing to be more painful. So if the thoughts about the self are not in line, then the thing becomes more painful. That's the self, see? So the answer is, as Louise says, loving the self. Loving the self. Once we do that, everything else is falling in line. I'm here to tell you it's so. It's so. I hope you're still creating with whatever you brought to create with today. I hope that you will share with me in the comments what you've created. I'm going to go back to my marker meditation here. Remembering to breathe in and out. Remembering that all we have to do is be here now with one another, with the creative process. In this moment, here I am. All is well. You see, it's quiet in here. I have a moment to rest on the page. I am grateful for that. You know, so that brings us to the end of the chapter. What is the problem? No, and I'm here to help you figure out what is the solutions to how do we learn to do this thing, this loving ourselves thing. And we've been talking about that all along. And we show up for ourselves. We show up on the page. We show up to our instrument. Been watching a banjo dude. I love these artists that are doing live feeds daily. This dude, Zach Wayne, check him out sometime, gets up in the morning and grabs his instrument and plays for us if we want to watch, and I often do. I love seeing what other artists are up to. You know, only you can do you how you do. I'm so thankful that you're here. Be grateful that you're still here, still alive. You know, so many aren't. I'm sure you mourn those ones that went on before you. Grief is real. It's a process too. It's all just a process. We're all just learning and growing together. It is really nice to hang out with you again. It's been a couple weeks. Things are changing, you know, in my life, and I see my resistance to change. Even though I welcome it, it's an interesting thing. Yeah, I survive. All else is resistance. Things that show up, you know. I'm in the Columbus area again. I'm going to be hanging out here because of the birth of this grandchild. So if anybody wants to come hang out and do Creative Companions in person some Sunday, let me know. That would be fun. I'll post about it. You know, when we talk about like this self-care thing and that time isn't real and we rush ourselves and we rush through our days and we rush through our creative projects and we rush our children and we rush through things. And, you know, my friend Bonnie, one of our creative companions, sets a timer. This is so you don't gyp yourself. You know, we have an hour today. We've been here for 40 minutes now. We have 20 more minutes to just play on this page or whatever art form you brought. Just keep the hand moving. There are no mistakes. And how do you know when an art project is done? When the timer goes off? Or, that's the other thing, learning to be so flexible with ourselves. If we get called away during meditation, that's okay. We don't get angry. Because we don't want to feel anger, frustration. If someone in the house, one of the pets or the kids really need us, and we get called away, we avoid the noid and just go with the flow and put that creative thing down that we were working on and know that its time will come again. And you'll come back to it. It's to avoid the noid. You know, and having I want to read the meditation at the end of each chapter in this book by Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Life. At the end of each chapter is a little meditation that she's written, and I like to write these in my journal. You know, sometimes, like, you know, working with what we're reading, then having that become part of what we write in our journals helps us with that idea of the hand moving across the page. You know, we might be saying to, why would I write in a journal? I'm not a writer. Neither am I. But I've written a book. many, many, many books now. But we write in the journal as a form of meditation, and a form to get to know ourselves, to grow ourselves. Let's look at it that way. Yeah, journaling is to grow ourselves. So when I read something that really, like, you know, resonates with me, and I want that to become part of me that I'm growing, the new me today, better than the one yesterday, every day. So I like to write these down. The act of saying them out loud as you write them, as you read them, gets all your senses involved, helps it become more true for you. It's like the affirmations that we write in our journals. Treating myself as a precious object makes it so. Treating myself as a precious object makes it so. Okay, so Louise writes at the end here of chapter 2, in the infinity of life where I am, all is perfect, whole, and complete. I am always divinely protected and guided. I'm going to read that one again. I am always divinely protected and guided. It is safe for me to look within myself. It is safe for me to look into the past. It is safe for me to enlarge my viewpoint of life. I am far more than my personality, past, present, or future. I now choose to rise above my personality problems, to recognize the magnificence of my being. I am totally willing to learn to love myself. You might write that 3 times. I am totally willing to learn to love myself. I am totally willing to learn to love myself. All is well in my world. All is well in my world. All is well in my world. And I like to write all is well in my world because all has 2 L's at the end, which are 2 parallel lines. And well also does. I'll write it and show you why I like it so much. Because it's 11:11. 11:11, all is well. You've all heard me say it. So all has, see, an 11. And so does well. Now, here's the other thing I absolutely love about 11:11. All is well, see? I love about the creative process. I did not know I was going to write that today, did I? No. You know, never say never. You never know what's going to happen next. You don't know what you're going to create until you show up for yourself and show up at the page and give yourself time and space Time and space to get to know yourself and love yourself and play with yourself. Yep, that's what I said. Every day. That's what our artist dates are. An opportunity to take our artist self out and play. Do something that brings us joy. Something that we like to do today. I got to take a bath this week. That was my artist date. When you're a traveling person, baths can be rare. No, can be, are. It's a rare deal. So I did that painting that's like glowing back there. I want to show it to you because of what it says. It's really cool to me that it's glowing like that. I just noticed. So I'm going to show you. This is a live painting that I did at a festival called Starwood recently. Let's see. Make sure you can see the whole thing. There you go. So that middle part there is what was glowing. See that? It says, "One enlightened I am." I love the beautiful harp player over there. Maven is her name. She actually owns this painting. Brian Hankey there playing the guitar. He's a beautiful... Oh, there's a white rabbit. But it's that I am. Enlightened I am. Expansive, it says up there. That's it. Expanding and growing. You always are. You know? And so am I. I support you and your growth. So I have some new things coming up. Just keep a lookout on Art by Kim Keffer if you haven't liked that page, or on Instagram. That's where I am. I have a website now. I'm growing that part of my artist thing here, my online presence. So you can see all my paintings on my website and stuff. You can buy prints and stuff. And I just sold an original recently to someone I met at a festival, actually at this festival, Starwood. And that's fabulous. I so appreciate the love and support that I get from the community online. That's another pyro painting there that's a live painting. The one over there, that one, it's called Human Nature. You can zoom in on it on the website and stuff and check it out. There's always, you know, so much going on. So I'd love to see what y'all have been creating in the weeks we were apart too, because we were apart for a few weeks. I know some people got to do some traveling. I've really been, my daughter got married and that was beautiful. It was so lovely. And I got to be creative and create a beautiful space for that in her backyard, which is right out there. I'm enjoying being close to the family right now. I got to hang out with my granddaughter a bit. So, yeah. So we have 10 more minutes together. I hope you just keep move your hand across your page, creating in the way that only you can do, breathing in and out, finding what feels good. That's from Yoga with Adrienne. She's on YouTube. That's what she says. I love that. You know, you can always pause during your day and reset. Feel your feet. Ask yourself, what do I need? You know, like, okay, if my higher self is a loving mother who is taking care of my child self, then that loving mother will ask that child self, what do you need? What do you need now? You can stop and take a breath when you start feeling racy and anxious and ask yourself, what do I need now? In this moment. And maybe you notice that the thought you were thinking isn't serving you well. So I suggest you think another think. Bing! With the bell. Let's see. Oh, it's a text. We won't. Take a drink of water. Boundaries. We're learning that too, that our boundaries make us feel safe. Drinking water feels good. And maybe, you know, maybe your Sundays you start with this Creative Companions group and you use that as your training ground day. You know, today, all day could be your artist date. And you let spirit guide you. All you have to do is breathe. If a negative thought comes, you just let it go. Don't let it come out here. Be quieter. Listen more, say less. These are just things that are coming to me, you know? And when the spirit says, oh, I want to paint, don't do the laundry. Don't make the phone call. Don't do the responsible thing. Go paint. It's Sunday fun day. You could treat it that way. What if you lived today like time isn't real and only love matters, and that love for the self comes first? So what if only today, you just for today, you could live that way and focus that love on yourself and love yourself more and more, and make note of it. Make note of it. How did it feel? How do you feel at the end of the day? How do you feel at the end of this hour compared to how you felt at the beginning of the hour? For me, I don't know if you noticed, but I began this hour with woosah, because it has felt just to get here. And now I feel grounded, and I feel I'm here now, more present. Indeed. Is that anxiety that takes us over, literally takes us over and takes us out of the now. It's those criticizing thoughts that you're having maybe take you out of the present moment, which might be filled with good smells that you're missing, that might be filled with joyful sounds that you were missing. So we're learning to just, there's joy only in the present moment. And recognizing how often do we spend our present moment beating ourselves up. Let it go, let it go, let it go. So I'm looking for peaceful, easy feeling, finding joy in all that I do, and absolutely staying here now and being present with y'all, with myself. Love is truly the greatest healer to be found. And it's interesting to me to discover how closed we can become to that energy and how closed we can become to love in general. And it's something that it's worthwhile to examine your relationship to love and what that means to you, because often what we've been calling love ain't it. Even the way we've been expressing ourselves ain't it. I want to learn to love unconditionally myself and others. There's something else I usually say there, but I'm going to hold that. Learning that too, to have boundaries with myself and limits to what I say and what I don't. Everything I think does not have to come out my mouth. Everything I hear does not deserve or need a response from me. What did Burns say? Every infraction does not need a reaction. You know, how could you live like today, like time isn't real, and only love matters, and think no thoughts, no planning for the future, no reminiscing about the past, banishing all thoughts. Fun experiment, yeah? I think so. Janis Joplin says, what good can drinking do? I agree. But I've also added, what good can thinking do? There's a song that says, I think I thought myself to death. We do that. We overthink things. Just let it play out and be here now with your fine self. Allow yourself to express in the now. Express in the now. If we always express in the now, there's never anything to go like make amends for or anything. If we're dealing with things as they occur, dealing with ourselves as we feel in the moment, just allowing ourselves to be. I am me, you are ye, you are ye, you are you, and we are we. I and I. I'm just making little tiny marks now. I don't even know where I have the camera pointed at the top of my head. So let's see what we're going to read about here. What's chapter 3 going to be about? And let me do one more thing on my page before I do that. Because we only have about 3 more minutes. See now. See now. See now. S-E-E. Now. N-O-W. Not S-E-N-I-L-E. There's a big difference. See now. Here, here now. Love, love now. See now, here now. And I mean H-E-R-E, not H-E-A-R, but that's good too. See and here now. See, hear, have all your senses aware. Yes, yes, I'm just rambling now. Here's what my page is looking like though. All is well. Love now. After I turn off the camera today, I am going to do today and let my artist self play all day and not do any shoulds and put some more paint on my mama's. Here and now with love and gratitude for you too. Thank you, Donna. Yes, loving awareness I am. I am here in loving awareness. The present presence. You can watch other videos, refer your friends on the YouTube channel. You can go back, you know, if you're feeling low, go to our YouTube channel. It's our YouTube channel, Art by Kim Keffer on YouTube, and you can see all the previous videos. It's easier to find them there. If you're feeling blue, go find one of those to watch. You know, learn to just grab onto the thing in the moment. There's always one thing you can do to elevate you, right? So I'm just going to date this one, which I don't even remember what the date is. I want to say it's the 29th. I skipped a couple days in here too. And that's it. Just learning to be flexible with ourselves. If we skip a day on our self-care routine, it's okay. We're not beating ourselves up about a thing anymore. So all is well. Love now. I appreciate you all so much. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for loving me and supporting me, being believing mirrors. I love seeing your progress. Thanks for sharing the bits of you with me that you do. I'll continue to share the bits of me with you that I do. Let's take a couple deep breaths here. I'm going to sign off. Oh, wait a minute. Chapter 3 is going to be, where does it come from? Where do these thoughts come from? And then the answer is that the past has no power over me. So there you have it. I hope you have the best week ever. We're all going to have a great week. It's going to be magical. That's right, Laurel. Thank you so much for joining. Remember to breathe in and out. Take it to your heart space and create from there. Love yourself more and more and more and more. That which I do that heals me heals you. Peace out.